Hey everyone, this is Rick from rickswrestlingblog.com. I want to talk to you a little bit about the upcoming pay-per-view, WWE's Hell in the Cell on October 27th, 2013. Well, actually, let's kind of talk about Raw, actually, because Raw has a lot of stuff kind of leading up to that pay-per-view. Because, right now, we just finished Battleground. And Battleground had, some decent matches. The first pay-per-view of the first Battleground pay-per-view that the WWE has put on, but you have two pay-per-views in October this year, and that's gonna be a hard sell. I think it's a hard sell. I kind of was against getting the Battleground pay-per-view. Ended up getting it with my brothers, and so we can kind of take a look and see what's going on here. And it really wasn't a bad pay-per-view. The only thing is that now with Hell in the Cell coming up just a few weeks later, all of a sudden now you see Hell in the Cell. As Hell in the Cell's got some of the same matches. You got the same main event for the third time now, and that's starting to get a little tiring, especially when you have someone like a company like TNA Wrestling, who has their Bound for Glory pay-per-view. I mean, Bound for Glory. This is their WrestleMania of the year, and I'll tell you, I do watch TNA. The only thing is with TNA is I never get their pay-per-views. However, this one is looking so good. I kid you not that I am actually going to be getting this one. And we'll talk about that in a different segment. But WWE, when you're going to have two pay-per-views that are not so hot, like a Battleground and then Hell in the Cell. I mean, you need to do something really special with Hell in the Cell to really get. This is what I believe with to have people buy two pay-per-views in 1 month, and so. There's still another week and a half left before the pay-per-view, so maybe the WWE is going to bring, they haven't announced all the matches. So, hey, let's talk about Raw, because I know that Raw brought a lot of good stuff. I actually was really happy with this week's Raw. So I've got some notes here. I want to make sure I covered certain points. So the first thing was, Raw opens up with Shawn Michaels coming out, and they're talking about he's talking about the main event, and he's going to referee at Hell in the Cell. And here's the thing, here comes Orton. Obviously they're doing this because obviously this is the third time in a row that Orton and Bryan will take each other on for the world title. And now Shawn Michaels, they're throwing him in there to kind of spark more interest into this match, So, I got to tell you, I'm a huge Shawn Michaels fan. He's been my favorite wrestler for many, many years. He hasn't wrestled. He's retired. The only thing is that he's not fighting. So to see Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton wrestle at the pay-per-view as the main event again, well, yeah, okay, they're saying they're going to guarantee a champion this time. But still, to pay $50 a month, 3 months in a row, and for the same match, it gets a little tiring. So, hey, they need to change that up now. That's getting a little bit boring. So anyway, Michaels comes out, and of course Orton comes out, and he threatens him and this and that. And hey, we see Shawn Michaels almost pull out a super kick that we haven't seen in quite a while, but it didn't land. And here comes The Miz, comes out and starts attacking Randy Orton. Of course, Raw is in St. Louis, so it's at the home of Randy Orton, and here comes The Miz, hopefully trying to get some revenge from the last time when Randy Orton attacked him. So, it's looking pretty good with The Miz just toppling him, but at the end of the day, the Wyatt family comes out and distracts The Miz, and obviously there's something going on between the Wyatts. It's starting up now between the Wyatts and the Wyatts and The Miz. So that's something that we'll probably see at Hell in the Cell, as I'm guessing. Bray Wyatt versus The Miz. It's kind of good to kind of get these guys kind of more involved with each other, because they haven't really done anything great with the Wyatts yet, and I'm still expecting more from the Wyatts, and I'm not getting it yet. So far I've been pretty disappointed. They've been just taking on mid-carders and beating down mid-carders, except for Kane, of course, but Kane is out filming a movie, which is really why he's out. So they they beat him down. You don't see Kane anymore. I'm sure he'll pop back as soon as he's done filming this movie. And when he comes back, I'm sure that war will probably resume. So we'll see how it goes. But right now it's looking like it's going to be Miz and Bray Wyatt, probably for Hell in the Cell. And so, of course, with that distraction, then Orton, even though Orton doesn't need a distraction. I mean, this guy is fabulous, you know. I mean, he makes a great heel. So he comes out and obviously he beats the Miz. So I got some notes here. I want to make sure I cover everything I wanted to talk about. But then you got the little the segment between Heyman and Maddox about putting a stipulation between with CM Punk. Here's another match. We just saw Ryback versus CM Punk last pay-per-view, and now we have to see it again. And of course they gotta boost it up a little bit because since it's the same match, you need to do something different. So here Maddox comes back and he says we're gonna go ahead and do a the clock match, whichever one that beat the clock. It's a beat the clock match. So whoever beats the clock will actually get to decide the stipulation. And actually, CM Punk obviously got it. And so his stipulation, it's gonna be Ryback with Heyman in a Hell in the Cell match against CM Punk himself. So you know, obviously that's what's different. Not bad, especially for another match we have to watch over again. But again, you've got a repeat match. So anyway, let's see. CM Punk is actually coming back. I'm sorry, CM Punk. John Cena. John Cena is returning at Hell in the Cell, and that's pretty cool. I'm a little confused as to why he's going to be taking on Alberto Del Rio. In my opinion, that world title doesn't really mean much these days. They've given that title to many people. They've really downgraded that title is what it is. They've wanted to boost the WWE title to be the number one title that they just kind of treat the other one as is just second best. But you know, that world title has a real history, and you know, in a way I get a little upset about that because that is the title that Ric Flair wore. That is the title from the original NWA. You know, that is the original title, and of course when WWE bought out WCW, the title was still there, and they even brought it back after they united the titles, and you had one undisputed champion. But eventually they brought it back, and you know you've got the great ones going after that. I mean, Ric Flair was still fighting for it. Triple H was still fighting for it. The Undertaker, The Rock. I mean, Stone Cold. I mean, it was that level title. But these days, you know, you give that title to, you know, whoever. It's really more of a mid card title. It's what it's become, and it's kind of sad to see it that way. But you know, hey, that's how. What can you do? That's what the WWE does right now. So for John Cena to take on Alberto Del Rio at Hell in the Cell, that kind of doesn't really make sense to me because why would they give that title to John Cena? He is your world champion. He's of that caliber. So why? I just can't see them giving the title. So I actually think that Alberto will retain that title at the pay-per-view. So we'll see what happens. But I expect Alberto Del Rio to remain champion after that match. But I'm glad that John Cena is coming back. I think they just really didn't have a real match. They didn't really have anything to really give John Cena. They wanted him to have a good match when he came back, a main event type of match. And CM Punk's already got something going. Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton's got that thing going. So you know you got to pick someone else up there. And obviously the world champion is actually a pretty good choice. It's just that just don't see him walking away with that title. All right, well, listen, Triple H and Stephanie come out and they give a nice, they have a nice segment. This segment was it was pretty cool. The way the fans were chanting and the way they were just standing their ground, and then of course here comes Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan is going yes, yes, and doing his chants, and everybody's following him, and of course Alberto Del Rio comes out and jumps him from behind. But I really like what Triple H and Stephanie, you know, they've been taking on the role of the bad guy, and you know it just takes you back to those days of when McMahon and was going against Steve Austin, and McMahon was, you know, he's the boss, he's the man. Everybody loves to hate the boss. So what happens? Well, Triple H is taking over that role. He's gonna be hated. He wants people to everybody wants to see the boss get beat up. So when the Big Show knocked him out, that was a huge deal. But he's doing a great job right now playing the heel, along with Stephanie. I think they're doing what they have to do to boost their ratings, boost their pay-per-view buys. I don't know how well they're actually doing with those numbers right now, but I think it's actually a really good move for them to do, to step into that role. I think they've been doing a great job with it so far. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, Daniel Bryan took on Del Rio, and earlier in the night you actually saw that Brie Bella took on Tamina Snuka and took a decent beating from Tamina towards the end there. But I'll tell you what, that Brie Bella has been wrestling pretty well. She's been she actually put on a pretty decent match, and at the end of the day, of course, Tamina pretty much beat her down, and here comes AJ to just mock her and then put on the Black Widow. And so but it's nice to see that actually Brie Bella is getting more and more involved. And you gotta wonder, is that a Triple H Stephanie, hey, I'm gonna put you against this one just to kind of teach you a lesson kind of thing, or just to get back at Daniel Bryan? Well, the match of the night at Raw was phenomenal. The Rhodes brothers, Dustin, but Cody Rhodes and Goldust taking on the Shield for the tag team titles. I was really surprised that they did this at Monday Night Raw instead of saving it for Hell in the Cell. Yes, that would have been a repeat match, but it's rare that you see the Rhodes brothers tag together. In fact, I believe at that pay-per-view, Battleground was the very first time they actually tagged together. So I could be wrong about that. But anyway, they deserved the title shot because they beat the Shield at that pay-per-view. So I would expect that they would have gotten a title shot. I kind of thought they would wait for that pay-per-view to give them a title shot. They didn't. They did it on Raw. And let me tell you something. That was a great match. It was so entertaining. These guys are wrestling. These guys are beating each other down. And they keep coming back. I'm talking, the Rhodes brothers were keeping up with the Shields, even though the Shield was really kind of 3-on-2 for a good chunk of the match. I'll tell you that the brothers wouldn't give up and kept coming back. And it's a good match when the audience is chanting awesome. It's a good match. They were really putting on an awesome show. At the end of the day, here comes the Big Show. Comes right through the crowd with his regular clothes on. Comes in, 3 fists, 3 punches to all 3 of the Shield. Knocks him out. Cody Rhodes gets the pin. We have new tag team champions. It was great. And then here goes the Big Show right back up from where he came from. And Triple H comes running into the ring, and he's having a fit, takes off his coat, and he's angry. And there's the Big Show in the audience just with his arms up there. Yes, 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 with everybody else. And, it was really a great way to end the show. And really an awesome match. I really can't say enough about the match. I enjoyed their match at Battleground, and I think this one here in Raw was even better than that. Overall, it was a really good Monday Night Raw. So I would say, leading towards the Hell in the Cell, things are looking pretty good. Not all the matches have been announced yet, which is becoming more and more typical with the WWE. They want to announce more towards the very end. But again, with a pay-per-view 3 weeks apart from each other, that's not a very good deal. Not for me, at least, when I'm buying these pay-per-views every month, so and then like I mentioned, TNA's in there, and it's looking good. So anyway, it was a great pay-per-view. I'm sorry. Well, Battleground wasn't necessarily, but it was a great Raw. The pay-per-view is looking up, but again, repeat matches. So we'll see what you think about it. I don't know if I'll watch it. Maybe I'll just find the results on Monday night and see what happens from there. All right. Hey, thanks a lot for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye.